Shoes. We all know them and love them. We use them to protect our feet, we use them for extra grip in sport, we even use them to enhance our own appearance. But after hearing Chris's story, I asked myself, how much do I really know about shoes? The answer was not much. So I set out on a little adventure to find out more about these mysterious objects. Because Morby had drawn my attention to this issue with the torn ligament, I thought that I should go and see the guru of all injuries, Libby Abbey, a member of the medical staff at Shaw School.
Well, many injuries can be attributed to shoes, and one in particular that comes to mind is ingrown toenails. Because people wear ill-fitting shoes, they wear last season's rugby boots, and they get this very nasty infection in their toenails from them being squashed, which usually they have to see a doctor and get antibiotics for, and usually end up going to see a podiatrist to have their nails cut down the sides.
Could you just elaborate on that? What's tinea?
Well, tinea is a fungal infection, fungal bacteria infection, closely related to the ringworm infection. And what it does, it causes itchiness and burning, and it can go so far as to cause pus and pustules, and it's in fact quite revolting and very contagious.
I finished off by asking Sister about the worst shoe injury she'd ever heard about.
Probably the very worst injury I ever heard about, or I read in the newspaper, was about this man climbing the rocks near the seaside at Manly. And he fell in the water, and because his shoes or boots were heavy, they caused him to sink and drown, which was pretty horrendous, wasn't it?
That's terrible.
Awful.
Wow. This is where I began to see a more evil side to shoes than I originally had. So I decided to ask a few people about their experiences with shoes.
This one time on cadet camp, I wasn't really wearing the right socks, actually no socks at all, so I took my cadet boot off, and so I'm sort of hopping around, checking my foot, and I fell off the cliff. And
yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I was running back from my friend's house, and because my shoelaces weren't tight, and I tripped over, and I grazed my elbow.
Tell me about how you got injured by shoes.
I was playing football, and I got rocked with a shoe, with metal studs, and then someone fell on me, and I got rocks and corks all down my leg. Oh, well, they're not shown at the moment, but just all down there.
Alright, how'd that make you feel?
It hurt.
Yeah.
And I had pretty much no feeling in my leg for a while.
I took a short break off interviewing people and decided to check online to see if anyone else had caught on to the same scent. And I was right. The first site I stumbled upon was runningbarefoot.biz, a website dedicated to preaching barefoot athletics and other events. This site informed me about how going barefoot could avoid a number of common injuries, such as blisters. The next site I ran into was barefooters.org, a site with similar aims to barefoot.biz. This site gave an insight into how the foot was designed to function on its own, without the engagement of shoes. I then decided to return to my interviews.
Got a blister.
How'd that happen?
Too much activity in the shoe. I was running without socks. And also new school shoes. They're a killer, they're worse than the devil.
When you step on the other foot's shoelace and you step over.
So does that happen to you?
Yes.
Yeah, what happened?
I fell over and had to get stitches.
Oh, how'd that make you feel?
Made me feel very sad.
Sad?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it hurt quite a bit when I was young.
So William, tell me about how you got injured by a shoe.
When I was 7 years old, I got my father severely pissed off.
and I distinctly remember him getting so angry that he ended up throwing both of his shoes at my head, one causing a gash in my eyebrow, and the second knocking me to the floor.
How'd that make you feel?
It was very sore and very painful.
And why is that?
Well, because I was bleeding from my head first of all, and my father had just thrown a shoe at me.
By now I was starting to feel a bit weird about shoes, but I decided to take a look from another perspective before I drew any conclusions. To do this, I called on my grandmother's friend, Norma Trussell.
Hello. Hi, Norma.
Oh, who are you?
Evan, remember coming here
yes,
for
yes.
the interview for the shoes?
Yes, I remember. Would you like to sit down?
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, now Grandma tells me that you love shoes and you've loved them for ever since you met her. What exactly is it about shoes that makes you love them so much?
Oh, they're just fascinating. All the colours, and they make you look finished when you dress. Nice pair of shoes. It's a compliment to the clothes that you wear.
So this is your newest fashion accessory you got on your feet right now?
Yes, they are. They're actually styled after the schoolgirls' shoes. And actually my granddaughter likes to borrow them if she can get her hands on them.
Okay. So you're in tune with all the modern fashions?
I try to be.
So Norma, do you have any stories about shoes?
Yes, a pair of shoes saved my life once.
Shoes saved your life?
Yes.
Can you tell me a story?
Well,
Is that the phone?
oh yes, it's my phone. You'll have to excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Hello? Hello?
I think that's a remote, Norma. And to finish up, Norma, the reason that Grandma said you like shoes so much is because you give them away to her all so often. I was just interested. Why do you give away shoes if you love them so much?
Well, I don't really love them at all. I hate them. They're too much trouble to look after.
That you hate them?
Yes, I really do.
And there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. Even people who claim to love shoes hate them on the inside. The only conclusion that I can draw from my research is that shoes are detrimental to the human body and society as a whole. Thank you for your attention, and for your own sake, please keep away from shoes.
So Keno, tell me about how you got injured by a shoe. So Keno, how do you get injured by a shoe?
I was getting rucked in the face with rugby the other day.